Hey everybody, happy Sunday. It is time for week 2 of Homemade Jam. We are back today talking about the armor of God. And the very first thing that I want you to do before you do anything else is I want you to make sure that you have your night paper. And remember, last week we were talking about the belt of truth. We are going to continue talking about the belt of truth this weekend. So you need to cut from your aluminum foil in your box another belt. And remember, it's just these teeny tiny little sliver of a piece. And you're going to glue that on with your handy dandy glue stick and give your knight a super strong belt of truth. So that's the first thing you're going to do. The second thing I want you to do is in your box, you will see a sheet that looks like this. I want you to get this sheet because we're going to be talking about it for just a couple of minutes. And remember, we're talking about truth. And we talked about how God gives us this armor that we put on to protect ourselves. And the first piece of armor that we're talking about is the belt of truth. Now, I don't know about you, but there are people out there who will tell you things that aren't true. And so sometimes we hear things that aren't true, but sometimes we see things that aren't true as well. And so on this piece of paper, I want you to look at this very top section. And I want you to tell me if those lines are straight. What do you think? Betting a lot of you will say no. But guess what? It's an optical illusion. Because the black and white boxes don't line up, it looks like the lines are squiggly. But they're not. They're straight. They're straight lines. Our eyes aren't telling us the truth. So how about this second one here? I want you to look at the second picture, and I want you to tell me if there is a ball in that picture that is underneath the rest of it. Can you see it? Does it look like there's a ball so that there's a bump underneath the rest of it? Again, it's an optical illusion. It's not real. It's not true. How about the very last one? You might have seen one like this before. I want you to tell me which line do you think is the longest? I bet a lot of you said you think that this bottom one right here is longer. But guess what? The lines are the same length. Because of where the circles are, it makes the bottom one look longer, but it's not. Sometimes our eyes don't tell us the truth. And that's the tricky thing about lies. With things that we see or things that we hear, lies can be sneaky and they can be tricky. And they can look like they're true, but they're not. Remember, we talked last week about how our Bible verse tells us that God's word is true. Everything that's in the Bible, we can trust it because it's true. There's no lies at all. And so when God tells us something, we can trust his truth. So this week, you're going to have all sorts of opportunities with some craft projects and some games to talk again with your family about truth. One of the things that you're going to be able to do is you're going to make what's called a truth catcher. Now, moms and dads, I don't know about you, but when I was in school, we called them cootie catchers. And they're those little papers that you flip open and you pick a number and you pick a word and then you finally reveal the truth that's in it. Your instructions will be in your email, but this is the paper that you're going to use. It says Truth Catcher on it to make that craft project. Kids, you can draw pictures on it, you can color it, you can have a whole bunch of fun with it. The other thing that you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to play a game. And in this game, you're going to need a sheet or a big towel. You're going to need your pom-poms that are in your box. And you're going to need some tape. And what you want to do is you want to take your towel or your sheet And in the center, make a great big heart out of that tape. And then you're going to have to bounce those pom-poms around. The last thing you're going to have a chance to do this week is you're going to have the opportunity to talk a little bit as a family about truth and about how we can fight evil and fight the lies with God's truth. And you'll be able to spend some time praying with God to be able to see and thank Him for His truth. Oh, and there's songs this week. I hope you enjoyed the songs last week. You're going to be able to sing some of those same songs again this week, and maybe a new one. I also wanted to shout out real quick to those of you who have sent pictures. I loved seeing your belts of truth. I loved seeing how your knights were being their armor put on them. I hope you guys have a great week again this week. I can't wait to see more of your pictures. Send me pictures of you and your family together, either playing games, working on the craft projects, or just send me a little picture waving hello. I miss you guys terribly, and I can't wait to see what you do this week as you focus again on God's armor and how He gives us His belt of truth. Have a great week, everybody. I'll see you again next week.